Hello, and welcome back to episode 4 of the Band Meeting podcast with me, Sam, and my gorgeous co-host,
Jack.
As you all know by now, as you've all been watching, I like to give a short, snappy, concise intro to the podcast, which I don't think there's any problem with. It's been going fine. But I'm going to, this week, reluctantly and against my better judgment, hand over the reins to my gorgeous co-host, Jack, because he's got a brand new, dynamic direction and vision for the podcast, and he wants to tell you about it.
All right. Well,
but for the record, I fundamentally disagree with fixing things that ain't broke, just to get that.
So anyway, I'll take it from here. All right.
Yeah. Well, do you want to explain what you're doing first?
I will.
Okay.
I'll get there.
It's all on your phone.
Welcome back to the Band Meeting podcast episode 4, Sam. This is, this is a big moment. So I don't know if you thought we'd ever make it past episode 1.
I didn't know.
No.
I thought that was it.
But we're up to episode 4. And much like Star Trek, episode 4, original and the best.
Rafa Khan.
Arguably.
Is that Rafa Khan? Number 4?
Yeah, sure. So I've been thinking of taking the podcast in a new direction, as you mentioned, or giving it some direction. And
injecting direction.
I'm injecting direction into the podcast.
An otherwise directionless operation.
So let me know if you disagree, but there's enough people out there dishing out really good advice on how to make it in the music industry and maybe how to even write music. I'm sick of it. So I think what is needed is the exact opposite, which is focusing on the failure.
Yeah.
On how utterly pointless it feels. Yeah?
Yeah.
And
it's not a huge departure from
it's not a huge departure.
I'm
just sort of like gently finessing it.
That looks quite long.
Into that direction.
That note. Is this going to go on much longer?
I'm just trying to let me finish. So we kind of would like to give the opposite impression, like, don't take any of this advice. In fact, it's not advice at all. We're kind of hoping maybe to put you off ever being in a band. That's our vibe.
Yeah. Well, that's where we stand.
We're both riddled with regrets, none of which we've learned from.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, podcast about failure, but unlike other podcasts about failure, no lessons to be learned.
No lessons, not one lesson.
Not one lesson to be learned.
No.
What do you reckon?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's what we're doing. I think it's what we've been going for. So, yeah, I'm all for it. I don't know why we have to kind of start labelling it, you know what I mean? Like,
you don't want to label it.
No, start putting a thing on it.
Well, I'll just have.
Okay, there you go. Done.
So
well,
why don't
we ask the audience at home if they think that everything is fine and you don't have to change things that aren't broken, and that actually change is quite scary often.
Yeah.
Or if you happy to just change something you've been working so hard towards for so long, just on a whim.
Been working
hard for seemingly no reason at all.
I mean, we've put a whole music career into this podcast.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so if we could get you what you think. I mean, both valid options.
If it ain't broke, make it better.
If it ain't broke, make it better.
And that's how I live. I live by that.
Okay, I see. Yeah. Your Richard Bransons live like that, don't they?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Big time.
But your Sam Baldwins don't live like that. Terrified.
Yeah. Well,
terrified
you
of change.
You got to follow your heroes,
That's true. So
is that recording? Can't remember.
Yeah, that is recording. We're all good.
Great.
So with that, we can actually start the podcast now. What we've got on the agenda anyway. And the first thing is that, we've been teasing it for a few weeks, haven't we, Jack? But the one and only Daryl the Barrel is coming on the show today.
Looking forward to it.
Says he's going to pop in what should be about half an hour.
Yeah.
And we'll find out what he's got to say. So stay tuned.
He's always got a lot to say.
Yeah. So that's the first bit. And then, what is fast becoming a bit of a fan favourite of the show Not intro. Comments. The intro. Comments and questions from the folks at home.
Yeah. I love these.
Yeah, we got a lot in this week.
Yeah.
So would you like me to read you what I picked out? As always, I picked out 3 comments and then 3 questions from the audience.
Lovely.
Yeah?
I want to hear
You
them.
ready to hear them?
Yeah, because I haven't looked at them.
You haven't? No.
No, of course.
No. If I can get this iPad up. Sorry, the tape's gone funny. Right, so
tape the screen on.
So we got three comments, and we'll start with those. Jackie from Basingstoke, which I've been to actually. I played a gig there
Nice.
twice, same place.
Never been.
She says, "What a fascinating and insightful journey through the world of music. I've never listened to music before, but I might just give it a go after that." Keep it up, boys.
Can you imagine having just never listening to music?
Yeah, I think my life would have been a lot better
Yeah.
if I'd never been introduced.
To even the sound.
Just as the sound of it, yeah.
What's that?
If I'd been given a calculator,
Yeah.
or maybe like a spanner, anything other than career music, would have been
There
a
we
good
go.
move from an early age.
3.
3, yeah.
Thank you, Jackie.
Thanks, Jackie, for your question or
was a
comment. David from Lancing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's close by.
It's local.
Local.
Another local. It says, "Wow." Well, that's one way to put it.
Are you sure you just haven't picked up the comments from episode 2?
They're very similar, aren't they? That's cool. I don't know what he's talking about.
I appreciate it though.
Yeah.
I mean,
We did. We were.
we
quite,
do have the wow factor,
Yeah.
I think.
He said, "Wow." He wrote, "Wow."
All caps?
No, exclamation mark at the end of it though.
No.
And we got one here from a Jack Mehoff. Jack Mehoff. He writes, hold on, give him a chance. He writes, "Oh my God, I can't believe you 2 morons are still doing this absolute giant hunk of steaming shit. I've never watched a more steaming hunk of steaming, stinking shit in all my life. Just stop. Your mothers should be ashamed."
Well,
Don't
Jack,
bring our mums into it.
they are ashamed
They are actually, yeah, they are ashamed of us. But
if they ever watched it.
Jack Me Off. It's another one. That wasn't a
it's a
legit
troll.
comment. That was a troll. Keep getting them every week.
Why do you keep picking them? You said there was loads of comments.
It's a good point, that. I don't have an answer. Let's move on
Yeah,
to
let's move on.
questions. Glenn. Could be the same Glenn. Let's see where Glenn's from.
Surely.
From Tunbridge Wells.
It's
Glenn. Glenn says, "Hey, Jackie. Thanks so much for the T-shirt tip last week." That's nice.
Yeah.
Picked myself one up, and I've been getting so many lovely comments at the office. That's nice, isn't it?
That's amazing.
So there you go. So you're giving out
Fashion.
fashion advice,
Good office fashion advice.
Good office fashion advice.
Yeah.
Oh, there's more. P.S. I love the way your chest hair pokes out the top of your T-shirt.
Well,
It does, doesn't it?
I always make sure you got to leave a bit.
Eagle-eyed Glenn.
Eagle-eyed. Yeah. Well, good video quality.
Yeah. Well, that's a bit of an odd bit at the end there, but, I guess that's nice. Does look kind of cool, I suppose. Quite manly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it does. Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah. Well, thanks again, Glenn.
Cheers, Glenn.
Yeah, keep them coming.
I appreciate it.
Charlie from Balcombe.
Balcombe,
yeah.
Yeah.
Between...
They're always on the train line.
It was on a local train line, yeah. I've never left Sussex. Asks, did you know that it's possible for a cow to walk upstairs, but impossible for a cow to walk downstairs?
I actually did know that.
Did you?
Yeah, I've
So
heard,
that
I've heard that.
Yeah.
But if we could get Pete to double check that.
Pete, let us know a bit quicker than last time, which we didn't.
Yeah, he never told us.
Never told us. Yeah, let us know if you could get that, because, I mean, that is interesting. Thanks, Charlie. And, yeah, hope you're all good in Balcombe. Jonathan from Ford, which is...
Like Ford General Motors.
No. It's an American company, car company.
Well, that could be overseas.
No, Ford's on the Bognor line.
On the board? What?
The Bognor line.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's got an open prison.
Open prison?
Open prison. I
Well,
don't actually know.
I think you meant to shut prisons.
Generally, yeah. But I don't actually know how an open prison works, so I'm not going to get into it.
I don't really
But
know.
when I was a kid, I always thought it just meant that, like, you go in there to sleep, but then you... So it'd be for, like, you know, people that haven't done an awful lot wrong.
What do they do during the day?
Don't know.
What do they want?
Yeah, free.
Fair enough.
Free to... Yeah. Anyway, so Jonathan from Ford on the Bognor line says, Jack, have you managed to sort out that fungal issue in your you-know-where?
Under my toes.
Well, I don't know.
I know.
I've not. It's the first I've heard of it.
Probably you can see it from
But
the
your
camera.
you-know-where, yeah, it could mean your toes, I guess.
Yeah. Usually refers to somewhere
toes.
down there.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I would, if I were you, it's not the sort of thing I'd actually, like, talked about on a podcast.
PM me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you don't have
we
to
don't-
answer it.
we
But
don't
yeah,
talk
well,
about
you know, if it's true, I hope you have fixed it, because it doesn't sound very nice.
No. Well, thank you.
All right.
That's nice.
And that concludes fan favourite segment of the show. Comments and questions from the audience at home. Once again, thank you all very much for sending in your comments and questions, except Jack Me Hoff,
Yeah.
because that is not funny, big or clever. And stop doing it. You know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I don't mind.
we'll move straight on, shall we?
I don't mind that much. Yeah.
To what is the bulk of the podcast, and that is questions, isn't it? So
Questions.
sort of things that we ask each other, like a question, and we answer them
Like a question.
like a question and an answer. So let me get it. I'll just put it over there. The first question I thought of was like really quite a generic question, but you know, I guess
Not pushing the boat out with
not
this
pushing
question.
the boat out. Yeah. So the question is, Jack, what was in all of your musical career your best ever gig you played at?
Best.
Yeah.
It is a
And
tough.
if you've got a fun little story we can cut up into a TikTok, would be fantastic.
It's a tough question. Best ever gig. There's been a few interesting ones.
Yeah, that's not the
sure.
question though. I need one. One. Just pick one. Just shuffle them in your head.
I'll go. You know what? Like the honest answer to my best ever gig was the last one that I ever played with Animal House.
Yeah,
The last one was like easily the best.
the one a few months ago.
Yeah, it was the gig to end all gigs for us.
Yeah, literally.
Literally. So because we were finishing up, so it was like, yeah, it could have been kind of like it could have just petered out, but we kind of like, yeah, it was a good one because we went out with a bang.
Yeah, I came to that and it was really good.
It was good fun.
Yeah, good gig.
So not a brilliant story, but that was
Yeah,
genuinely like the best gig. I think one of the like,
it's not really kind of. I know that's the direct answer to the question.
yeah, I know.
But you know, obviously,
Yeah,
know
so-
that
so-
really I'm after some sort of fun, juicy stories.
So well, there was a fun.
Not just it was really good.
It was a really good gig, you know. So, but I just did find it interesting that the last one could be the best. Could
Yeah,
also be
it's fascinating.
the saddest, but it wasn't. It was great.
It
but-
probably was quite sad. I
Yeah,
swear you're all in tears after it.
I wasn't crying. No,
You were odd.
I wasn't. I definitely wasn't crying.
No,
No, I don't. I wouldn't ever do that.
no, not in front of someone.
Not in front of people. No,
Absolutely not.
Absolutely
No.
not.
Embarrassing.
It's disgusting, actually.
I know.
It's
Yeah,
disgusting behavior
yeah. It's
Stop.
showing emotions
in front of
in front
people.
of other people.
Yeah, I usually show emotions.
Lock them in. Take them to the mirror.
Take them to the mirror.
Yeah.
Take it all out on yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, don't have that as life advice. It's dreadful life advice.
No, but I would. You go with a. What's your best?
passing it over already.
and then you can pass it back. So
Yeah,
I've got
such
a
an
good one.
interesting life.
I've got a good one. I've got a good one
Okay,
as well. But
so you got to ask the question to me.
what's your best gig ever?
The best gig ever. I won't give you like the one that's not got a lot to it. I'll give you like the funnest gig.
Yeah, the funnest most.
Was my first band that we discussed in length last week when I was
Yeah.
about 18. Played in Romania, in Bucharest,
Nice.
and it was one-off. It wasn't part of a tour. It just came in.
Like a festival?
Nope, just this club. It was called Club Control.
Wow.
And it's really cool. I think they had
Amazing.
sort of, I guess like government funding.
Yeah.
Because I don't think there wasn't a huge amount of venues, so they got quite a lot of funding. Then they could bring bands over and pay them really well. So it was actually like it was financially made sense for us all to fly there, play the gig, and fly back. Just that on its own, and we made money.
Nice.
So that's how it should be.
Sorry, I have to interject. I think, isn't Bucharest in Hungary?
No, that's Budapest.
Ah, dickhead.
Yeah.
I knew it. I knew I was wrong.
Such an idiot. Who does that? Who tries to like question someone's answer and they don't really know themselves? That's a real.
Don't even know.
They don't even know themselves. That takes a real kind of dick, doesn't it? That's the sort of person I'm not usually friends with. So I don't know. That's first red flag
Big
you've
red
ever
flag.
showed. Yeah.
Wow. I'm impressed it was the first I've ever showed.
Yeah. Well, it was a big one because I don't like that kind of behaviour.
Don't you mean?
Don't you mean?
No.
Excuse
I
me,
don't.
I think you mean. Don't even know. Anyway, I hope I'm right. Otherwise, getting roasted in the comments next week from Huge Erection or Jack Mehoff.
Yeah, so anyway, you were...
Anyway, so played in Romania. So we flew there and it was it was like the promoter and her friends were putting on the gig. And so they brought us over, and then we stayed in one of the friends' family owned this huge hotel, like biggest hotel I've ever seen.
Wow.
You know, in my memory. But also, this is like, no,
Yeah,
we got to stop.
yeah.
Oh, I was in the flow.
Quick.
All right, we'll swap it over.
Right.
Cool.
You were mid-story.
I was, yeah. So what I was saying was, I think we were in a giant hotel.
Big hotel.
Like, it was absolutely ginormous. And anyway, so that's where we stayed. And then we were going to fly out there one day, stay the night in this crazy hotel, play the gig, stay the night in the hotel, fly back the next morning. That was the plan. And then fun first day, we just got really drunk in the venue. And then the second day, played the gig, and it was just really good. Just a, solid night.
Brilliant.
And then we just stayed drinking for hours and hours and hours.
Just at the venue.
At the venue, yeah. Club Control. And then
Club.
it must have been 4 or 5 in the morning. It dawned on us that we were flying the next morning at 9 or something.
Oh, God.
I mean, we probably, not even subconsciously, just knew that. And so we all came and agreed that we were going to book flights to stay on for 4 more days.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So we'll just turn it into a bit of a holiday.
That's amazing.
I know,
love
yeah,
that.
because they said we could stay at the hotel for free. That was it.
Yeah.
And
right.
so I remember I just got a job in a bar, and I'd just been paid before we left, and so I paid for everyone's flights, and I was because it was they were really cheap actually. I feel like £100 each or something, but still I paid for
like
five flights and £500. I mean, even now it's £500. But it took me about an hour to get over that I just spent 500.
Yeah, I bet.
And they all had to pay me back, and no guarantees.
Yeah.
Anyway, so then we stayed, and then we had another night in that place. And I remember then the next morning we'd all agreed, really drunk, that we were going to go to Transylvania to go to Dracula's Castle. And we'd agreed it with the people
Love
that were
that.
running the hotel, and they were going to take us.
Yeah.
And they came and woke us up in the morning,
Oh,
ready for
really?
and we just bottled it. We're so hungover. Probably only had
didn't
like
go.
a couple of hours sleep or something. Didn't go.
You didn't go to Dracula's castle.
I know.
Love it.
That is unlikely to ever come up
When you're
again.
young and you go to Europe, you just get pissed.
Yeah, I know.
There's nothing else
you don't
anyone wants
see
to do.
a thing, do you?
It's so funny.
But then I remember the funniest thing that happened was, I haven't really sold this as like a great gig yet, but it was really fun and it felt really cool and a little bit strange to be like, Romania's not on the beaten track for touring.
No.
So it was really cool, it felt.
Yeah. Love. That's brilliant.
And so you'd see on the news in the morning, like there was quite a lot of news. I don't know if at the time there was a particularly large amount of rabid dog attacks. So like you'd turn the news on, and I didn't know what was happening because I don't speak Romanian.
Yeah.
But
Did you get a gist?
I got a gist from pictures. Yeah, that there was rabid dog attacks. Like one of the girls that was like hosting us. They're all like our age. They're all about like 8. Everyone was about 18, 19.
Yeah.
She was a bit like wild, and she took us back from the venue to the hotel one night.
Yeah.
And she was like, I know a shortcut. And we were a bit like, all right, cool. Like, we don't know. I feel like we were all a bit apprehensive of a shortcut, I think.
Yeah.
And then she takes us back through this kind of like alley, and then it keeps going, and then it goes out into like rows of houses. But there's nobody's living there. It's like deserted kind of, there's just empty windows on the houses. And, we were walking down, and then we just started hearing dogs barking.
Oh, God.
Yeah. And like it got more and more the further we went, and it was like, oh my God, this is it.
This is it,
guys. We're all gonna get bitten.
All bitten by rabid dogs.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I've seen it. Somehow I've seen a video of someone with rabies, and it is not very nice.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know how.
Christ.
That
doesn't sound pleasant at all.
No. It's one thing you don't want to be getting.
Yeah.
And then. So then we're walking, and then we get to this corner, and like I remember us all just being like, "No, please, Lord, no," because you could hear the dogs were in this kind of like park, this like old desert park that had a gate to it. I mean, in my mind, there's smoke and like this huge like sort of gothic gate. I think just say it was, because I swear it was.
Yeah.
And then we walked, and we were like, "Oh no, please, 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 please!" If we might have well been holding hands.
Yeah.
And we got to the corner, and we turn, and we're going we're carrying on, and the corner for this park's there, and we're going up, and then we just see these two, what to me look like the world's biggest dogs, just standing there at the entrance to the gate, and we're like, oh. And then we pick up the pace and start walking, and I'm not making this up, honestly. Turn around, and they sort of start coming out of the houses.
The dogs?
Yeah, until there's like a huge pack of them.
Really?
Maybe like 4 or 5 or something, but
Yeah, that's a pack.
That's a pack. That's
a
decent
terrifying pack.
And they were just following us and following us and following us whilst we were walking out trying to get out of this bit to like wherever we're going.
Oh, God.
And honestly, I'm not making it up. It was like deserted. It was terrifying. Smoke. It was bits of green light coming in. Like maybe in like a Tim Burton-y sort of film. And
okay.
There probably wasn't the light. And then we start running.
Really?
Yeah, we all start running.
Isn't that like the worst thing you can do?
Yeah, I mean, they don't really give you that advice for dogs, but like bears.
No, I think they do give literally that advice for dogs.
Dogs don't run away.
Don't run away, because they'll literally just be like, oh.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The instinct kicks in.
Yeah, but I mean, what do? We run away from these dogs, and we end up in a giant field, and we're safe. Really?
You don't sound that safe. You're in a giant field.
The dogs have stopped. We were out of their territory.
Right. That's
We
unbelievable.
should have stopped and had a wee. That would have like shown them.
Yeah, on a lamppost.
Talking their language.
They're like, oh, don't go near that.
Sorry, sir.
That guy is rabid.
I didn't realise who you were.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was that gig. Just, funny evening.
Wild.
Funny few evenings. And then we came home,
Yeah.
and then, I mean, don't need to add that.
We came home.
And now I'm sitting on the sofa.
And we got our flights.
Talking to you about it. 12 years later.
Yeah, well, so it kind of made me think of like the sort of funniest, one of the funniest stories, I guess.
Yeah, is it fun?
It's a fun one.
Yeah.
It's not just, it was such a great gig.
Okay.
As in, it's not just that.
Yeah.
Oh my
Ours was a
God.
good gig too. I haven't played that. I played that down because I wanted to get to the story bit quick.
Yeah. And we like played these, we sort of got in touch weirdly with this guy who just booked small rock shows in Spain. And so we were like, hell yeah. So we toured in Spain twice. And one of the times we did this festival way down in the south in Isla Cristina. It was called.
That sounds lovely.
Yeah, man. It was so nice. But like, it was like a very small festival, like sort of 3 stages. And it was just a day festival. People just milling about the whole time. Got to see like loads of other bands, and it was really cool because all the bands were staying in the same hotel, and we met loads of them like throughout the area and stuff like that. And so then we played like later on in the night. It was a really fun gig. There was like a real mixed crowd there. It was really cool. And then the sort of headliner played after us, and we went and watched them, and we were watching them hanging out with the other bands. And that's what was really fun about that festival, is we could hang out with other bands there.
Yeah.
And we were all sort of around the same level, except for the headliners who were just like that nudge above.
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
And we all went down to the beach. And there was Nick and I were like absolutely hammered. So we were like, let's go skinny dipping. We're in Isla Cristina. Let's do it. And we run in and Nick, and we're just like laughing and like literally frolicking in this like calm water. It's so warm. And Nick starts going, Jack, there's phosphorescent algae. And he's like, I'm like looking around. I'm like, no, there's not. I was like, Jesus Christ, Nick, what have you taken? Because he's literally just like, and then he's like, no, you have to swish your hands around. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. Okay. So I'm like, all right, fine. And I swish my hand, and all these phosphorescent algae appear. And I was just like,
I don't know what phosphorescent algae
it's like the glowing plankton. Or
Okay.
whatever. Phosphorescent plankton, maybe?
Yeah, yeah.
And like,
Oh, yeah.
they literally
I can
just like
picture it.
glowing in the
Like
sea.
a glowing sheet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
nice.
And so I did that, and the glowing sheet follows your hand, and I'm just like, oh my God. So we're both naked in the south of Spain, just going, oh my God. Like, and then we both run back on the beach, like clutching our
The willies shaking
willies. Just like, ah.
Yeah.
We run up to the other bands who we were sort of hanging out on the beach with, having a beer, and we're just like, everyone has to come into the water because there is phosphorescent algae
in there.
And they're all just like, literally all of them had what my first reaction to Nick was like, just like,
Shut
what have you guys taken? Like, and I'm just like, seriously, you swish your hand about, and it's like all glows. I was like running up and down the bay, and it was just all glowing as far as you could run. It was absolutely incredible. And none of the others got in. They were just watching us, just being like, what the fuck?
From afar, fully clothed.
No one else got involved. Me and Nick shared that moment.
Yeah, oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it was beautiful. That was a really fun gig. And then
Did anyone believe you after?
I think they kind of did, because me and Nick corroborated it. You know?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
And it was like, and I have learned since, I think I watched an Attenborough documentary where like manta rays like swish their wings like really quickly through the water because it makes them show up.
Yeah.
And I was like, those are the things.
There you go.
I was a manta ray.
You were a manta ray.
So yeah, that was a good one. That was a fun one.
Great.
Didn't go anywhere.
Didn't go anywhere. No, never does. No, played Romania, made money going to Romania playing a gig. And yeah, like I say, look at us now.
We sort of broke even. So it was literally just doing it for the fun of it.
Well, breaking even now is like...
Impossibly.
Well, that's like the goal now, isn't it? To like, if you want to do a tour, it's like, can we break even?
Does that take us neatly onto our next segment?
It doesn't, but it is quite a good topic, I suppose. Just like how difficult it is. Like, not less for us, because like we're past it.
No, we're in folk now.
We're in folk now. That's true. We are in folk now. A lot more doors open up to you when you're in folk. Because who doesn't like folk? Like you can like, let's say you love hip hop. I reckon if you played them like indie rock, they'd be like, not sure about that.
Yeah.
But I reckon
no
you could
chance.
pretty much play anyone who likes, let's say someone exclusively listens to classical. So you got like classical, you got someone that likes hip hop. You send them folk, they'll all be like, at the very least, it's all right.
It's all right. Like they've someone with a guitar, like singing a song. Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
So I think it's more universal, which is nice.
We're selling out finally.
Yes, that's what we're doing. We're selling out. Been looking for, what to label it as. We're selling out.
Good.
Yeah, too
about
right.
time.
It's about time.
It's about bloody time.
We've been trying to, do it legit for way too long.
Yeah.
Maybe that's where we went wrong.
Yeah, I definitely didn't try and sell out with my first band.
But yeah, so it's difficult for bands, not so much for us because we're not really looking to extensively tour.
That's what I was kind of,
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, we can just talk about it. We don't have to stop.
No, like what are we hoping for?
Oh, I see.
Do you know what
No,
I mean?
we've got, actually, no, before we get onto that, we've got a sponsor.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cut. I forgot to set a timer. So
Right.
I don't know how long we've got.
Okay,
Do you
quick.
want to have a quick look?
So, sorry, it keeps cutting out. We're not doing very good with our timings. We were much better last one. We'll work on it. So what I was saying is, yes, we're going to move on to another question which semi-relates to this, but not. And then we've got a sponsor, but we won't talk much about it because we've got this planned actually for episode 5, the discussion of the difficulties financially of being in a band.
Yeah.
And trying to work it. So we were saying about breaking even, like like back in the day, I don't know what day because I don't actually know. I'm just talking up my butt, but used to make money from touring. Now it feels like even when I was touring, when I was 18, it was like to make a bit of money. And
really?
Then not make a bit, but like you wouldn't be a concern to break even.
Right. Okay.
Whereas now it's like you just work everything.
Wow.
I think so. Yeah. I think so.
Yeah.
But then it seems like now, that's like if you can break even, it's like a miracle.
You're up to the next level.
Yeah.
Right.
But yes, we don't need to talk about it too much, do we?
We'll deep dive into that one next week.
That's next week. Yeah. Just wanted to bookend.
Yeah.
That little section.
Good. You did a good job.
Because we're podcast hosts now, Jack. We've got to have some sort of level of professionalism. So yes,
we've got.
As I say, we've got a favourite first sponsor.
I don't believe you.
It's true. It's true. We got an email from a company that I'd never heard of.
I've seen the email. Yeah.
You've seen the email.
I'm just surprised. We've only done 4.
We've only done 4. It does. Yeah. I mean, it's very, very, very unlikely, but somehow, I don't know. Maybe we're doing something good here, Jack.
Maybe we're doing something no one's ever done before.
Podcast. It's genius. So ahead of the game. So yeah, we got sent a kind of script for the podcast.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
That I've obviously written out.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
You don't have a printer.
No printer. Exactly.
Yeah.
No
yeah.
printer.
Exactly.
So thank you very much for sponsoring us because that helps us financially to keep the show going. Because there's costs, there's lots of costs. Pete, you've got to pay Pete. She's completely useless. Hasn't given us the information back about cows going upstairs and downstairs.
Still trying to figure out how to use the internet.
Still trying to figure it out. He's probably got it, but he can't print it off. All right. So anyway, this is from So picture the scene. You and your bestest besties are out for a night on the town. You've shopped until you've dropped, and you've just been out for a delicious dinner. You're gleefully making your way down the road, recounting all the fun you've had that day and all the fun that lies ahead. But then suddenly, out of nowhere, it hits you. The chicken tikka masala madras heat was a little too much for your poor stomach to stomach. You've been caught short. We've all been there, haven't we?
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm hooked.
We've all been there.
You need to find a toilet and find one fast. Otherwise, things are going to get messy. Fortunately for you, there's a pub you regularly frequent just around the corner. Whew. You pick up the pace and shuffle along as quick as you can towards salvation.
I'm interested.
You push the toilet doors open with all the force of Aragorn. Drop down and let it go. Sweet relief. You made it. Oh, mate, I didn't write it. They're paying us, so be polite.
Sorry.
Yeah. We've all been there, it says. You sit there and start thinking of all the fun you have in store. But wait. You look to the left. You look to the right. And then the left again. There's no toilet
Across the
paper.
road.
There's no toilet paper.
paper.
Just talked over the main bit. Sweet Jesus. That doesn't sound good, does it?
Go on.
So I'll finish this off now.
You didn't write it, so it doesn't
No, exactly. You wonder on earth what you're going to do. Well, fear not. For this revolutionary and innovative product, as you covered, Tissue Sock. Tissue Sock is a sock-shaped tissue that you simply slip over your socks every morning before you leave the house, ensuring you'll never be toilet paperless again. So it's like toilet paper, but shaped like a sock. And in the morning before you leave, you just put it up over your sock and I guess put your shoe on. So there's always two there.
Yeah.
That's pretty good, actually.
That sounds...
Yeah. Need to drop one on a train?
Oh,
Oh, no. They've never got toilets on there, have they? Well, Tissue Sock will put your mind at ease. With Tissue Sock, there's nowhere you can't go.
Oh, that's a good tagline.
Out on a run, and that big full English and coffee is coming back to haunt you? Tissue Sock. Stuck in traffic, need to use a bucket? Tissue Sock. Tissue Sock is lightweight, comfortable, and affordable. And if you haven't used it by the end of the day, it will most likely have disintegrated into your shoe, leaving no trace it was ever there in the first place.
Yeah, I think that's likely for every
So if you want to feel
day.
safe and in control, Tissue Sock is the product for you.
There it is.
Well, they say head over to our website. They haven't given us one, so that's not any...
Presumably,
Sorry about it. TissueSock.com, I guess. And then... and use the promo code Thrillhouse to get 20% off your first pack of tissue socks.
Awesome.
Something like, was it comfortable, affordable? Something like that. And they haven't sent us like a picture of it or anything, so I drew what I imagined it would look like, which is that. So, so head over to the website, promo code Thrillhouse, and get 20% off your first order of tissue sock.
Right.
And thank you,
I better
Tissue
get
Sock,
on that.
for sponsoring the show. It's nice. It's very
Maybe
nice
you could
of
ask them to send us like a slightly
promo pack.
shorter promo pack.
Short write-up.
Shorter write-up.
Was a bit long, wasn't it?
That was long.
Yeah.
But, they're giving us at least some promo samples. I
Yeah,
presume.
at the very least. I don't know how much they're paying us. I didn't look too much into it, but
Didn't ask.
yeah. Might keep the show going for another couple of episodes.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
Anyway, I got a text in the break from Down the Barrel. He's on his way. He should be here in like 15 minutes.
He said half an hour. Like
I
40
know. You know what he's like. He's very busy.
Yeah, he's a busy man.
He's always doing stuff. Yeah. So, so looking forward to that.
I hope he
great.
comes.
Oh, he'll be here.
He said he's on his way.
He's on his way.
All right.
Sounded like he was in like a taxi or limo, knowing him.
What, from the message?
Yeah. He called me as well.
All right.
I forgot to say.
You didn't just get a vibe from the message that he was in a limo.
Had limo vibey feel to it.
Hey,
buddy.
Hey, buddy.
We're going down.
Yeah, if
I'm on the
someone's
way.
talking like that, they're in a limo.
Yeah, they're probably in a limo.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah. Anyway, So that leads us on to the next question,
Yeah.
which we've sort of decided off camera that we're going to do one more light-hearted, story-based question, which this week was, what was it? Your best gig.
Funnest gig, yeah.
Yeah, you know, bit of fun for everyone, and a nice reason for us to tell an old story. Reminisce.
Mostly that. Yeah.
Mostly that. That's what this is all about, really. Just getting all our old stories off our chest.
Oh, God, gotta get them out somehow.
Got to get them out somehow. Can't do it in public. Establish that.
Yeah. Well, we can.
Yeah. Wow.
Wow.
Beyond public.
Yeah. Super public.
Global. Anyway, so the question to you, Jack. Oh, and the second question is going to be a bit more fundamentally about, like the living as a failed musician and how that feels.
Christ.
Yeah. Well, we did. We can. It's heavy, but like that's what people like in podcasts, Jack.
They're like trauma.
Yeah. Trauma, pain, suffering.
Yeah.
So we've got to get all of our bits out.
Living as a failed musician.
So anyway, that's not the question, but that's the point. I didn't need to. I didn't need to give an overview of like it, but I've done it now.
You've done it now.
Can always edit it out. That's the good thing about this. What? Oh, yes. So the next question to you, Jack, which we sort of accidentally touched on in the last episode at the end, but we clearly didn't have enough time, was what do you want from this? The whole thing.
Yeah.
So doing music, I imagine when I'm not going to put words in your mouth, it changes, doesn't it, from when you start to where we're at now, which is like the real tail end. Our twilight years.
Yeah.
Of like being a musician. Well, not necessarily, but for us, it kind of feels that way.
So last week we were talking.
I don't want to like disparage. Is that the right word? Anyone that is older than us doing music, because
I do.
I think fair play to you. You got more in you than I have.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You know,
well, you don't know
you're a
that.
stronger person than I.
Oh man.
But yeah, so
yeah, absolutely.
So I guess you can. How do you what do you want? Why do you effectively? I guess why do you still do it? No.
Kinda.
It's half and half.
What do you want from it? Why are you still doing it?
They all link. Yeah. What do you get from it?
What do you get from it?
This could be long.
Certainly not a lot of streams.
Answer all three of those. Quickly, succinctly, and
succinctly.
And
why do I
interestingly.
still do it? For the love.
Yeah, but this bit's not supposed to be joking. This bit's supposed to be like heart wrenching.
Oh right, sorry. Right.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Uh-huh.
Let me sort of recalibrate because I'm just always funny, so I have to sort of. Yeah.
Well, they can make up their own minds on that.
Nice. Yeah, just what do you want from it anymore? I mean, like it's.
Has it? Okay, firstly, has it changed?
I mean, yeah, we sort of like touched on that last week. How it sort of goes. Your expectations lower as you go on.
Yeah.
And you have more and you have failures, and you're like.
But does that necessarily change what you want from it?
Right.
Like you still, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's
after,
like
your first failure, not failure. Your first it didn't
failure.
Your first after that one, I'm sure the second one, where you're at a year after that, just what you wanted from it was probably still the same thing. Like we want to just be, we want to be a big
I see
band.
what you mean.
And we want to be selling out big gigs and selling record. You know what I mean? Like, I guess when you always start, most people in bands, I'd imagine, start a bit young. You start younger, generally, not always, and then everyone's aspirations are probably really similar. It's like, you two. Do you know what I mean? I want to play. I want to play.
There must be
Wembley Arena.
There's like a small subsection of like jazz and punk musicians who are like,
oh yeah,
hate.
That's true. Okay,
and how do they do it? Like, how do they get to be 17?
I'm generalizing a bit, actually. Yeah, with like more kind of generic mainstream stuff like we do. But yes, I'm sure there's some punk and whatever that are way cooler than that, and they just do it because they love doing it. But yes,
I don't believe it.
Most people. We did. I think we did.
Yeah, no, we did.
I think we did.
Yeah,
we
absolutely.
Our dreams and aspirations for starting music were to be at the top, the number one.
Yeah,
and I think they stay there for quite a while.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Even after the big crushing failure, and you have low expectations, but you're still hoping for that.
Yeah,
and you're still wanting for it.
Yeah. I think time.
That definitely
I think
shifted
time's the biggest contributing factor to that dropping. Like if you could do like time,
because it's just
versus whatever. What was it again? Time versus like
fame,
hope. I guess dreams.
Oh, dreams.
It probably goes like that, doesn't it? Like really tails off, like when you hit 30, or maybe before. But
yeah, I see what you mean.
But so the question now is like with that having tapered since.
I love that we've just taken like 5 minutes to establish the question.
The rules.
The rules.
We know the rules. This is why nobody watches. For God's sake, man.
We don't even know what the damn question is.
I don't even know what the question is.
The question's,
it's such a simple question.
Yeah, well, is it? I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you want from it?
Yeah. So
let's
let's go now. Right
now. I actually,
having gone from, I want it all.
What if I said, a little part of me still wanted you too?
Oh yeah, of course. I don't think that's funny, Jack. No, part of me is like.
Oh, to be fair, I don't want to be you.
I feel
too,
like I wake. I do every day
yeah.
of like living with kind of like something life changing could happen tomorrow.
Yeah, like.
But it probably won't.
But it almost definitely won't.
Yeah, that's how I live. I
like
think.
It's like literally like buying a lotto ticket.
Yeah, every
week or every day
like,
or whatever. You're literally like, I'm happy. I'm definitely happy.
Yeah.
You know, I just could also have millions of pounds and be famous.
Yeah.
You know, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I could be.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind.
Yeah.
I'm really happy though.
Yeah. So where are you at now? That was what I wanted. That was.
Yeah, and I'm just you know, like I struggle to even like I struggle to figure it out, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm not sure I know.
Sometimes what I want is like just to stop.
Yeah. Well, you said it once, and I disagreed, like, but you said maybe it's braver just to stop.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Braver just to give it up.
Yeah.
Because,
absolutely.
And I think you're right, and it's not, but that's not the advice I'd ever give someone.
No,
I'd never give someone the advice
hard,
that like don't chase your dreams. But
stop what you're doing. Like
but for me,
you're chasing it.
Stop avoiding reality.
Yeah. You're being
that's
a
how
dead
sometimes
horse.
it feels like for me. Yeah.
Like, like you're not actually like you're just you're in denial.
Yeah. Oh,
but you're in denial from like the first failure onwards.
Yeah, exactly. But it gets worse. But so that's
it gets worse, definitely.
But yeah, I think
I'm in denial.
Yeah, me too. 100%. I don't. Yeah, you can't be in your early 30s or mid 20s.
Mid 20s,
and have been, had continual musical knockbacks. Not trying to like be all sympathetic, trying to get sympathy, but everyone. Generally speaking, you can't be a person that's had loads of musical knockbacks in our age, and not be like, and still have all that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, you can. I guess you can. And like sometimes there are stories where it happens, and it's like quite heartwarming. But but yeah, I think for me, I spend most of the time. I think it's. I mean, this might be quite obvious, but it's a fear of failure.
Yeah.
And not just necessarily failure, like failure in like terms of music, but failure in like myself.
Yeah. You've like given up and like.
Yeah. From about 14, my plan was to move to Brighton, be in a band, however, make it in music.
Yeah.
And then, it hasn't happened.
Yeah. You're.
But like,
in your
14 is like
eyes.
way over half my life ago. So it's like.
No, it's almost half your life ago. Yeah.
No,
it's almost half your life
26,
ago. Yeah. Mid 20s.
All right, we'll come back with the next bit after that.
Timer.
Okay.
Such a professional setup.
I know. So yeah, sorry, mid-story. So you'll have to try. I'll just try and like bring on the same emotion I was telling that with.
You can cut. Go on.
Yeah. This will be a cut. Yeah. Yes. So like, spending your entire life doing something
Yeah.
that ultimately ends in failure. Like, it's so yeah. Do you know what I mean?
So brutal.
At some point, you have to cut that off. You can't. You can do it forever, but like, maybe I'm not the sort of person.
You have to make.
I can't do it
if you
forever.
continue doing it forever, you have to make other sacrifices.
Yeah. The sacrifices
Going
I can't
forward.
make.
And neither.
Yeah, but so like when do you do it?
When do you just
Yeah. So anyway,
Well,
maybe not when.
I think
'cause
what it
that
is
could
this
put a time
coming-
limit on us doing music together. But
Yeah, but cutting it back to like what we want, I think you can keep doing it. Like I am coming round to this, and it's taking a lot of willpower and understanding of failure
Yeah.
and like acceptance of that and moving on from that and just being like, this can just be back what it was when it was like I was learning guitar or something. And it's
Just
like
fun.
It's just a fun thing to do.
yeah.
There's no other expectations tied to it. At some point I think it will have to get there where I'll be like, I have all the skills to do songwriting and production and stuff, and I'll carry on doing that because it's fun.
Yeah.
Like, I think it just has to get there. Maybe it should have just stayed there forever, but it just, it didn't. And
You
I don't
got
think it
there?
can. No, sorry, I was there when I was a kid.
Oh, sorry. I see.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
I
just
get
doing
you.
this just for fun. I had
Yeah,
no
yeah. But
aspirations.
that would be nice if we've got to get there now.
We've got to get back there.
Yeah.
But well, I mean, like,
We've got a bit of time.
It's
but
funny-
but it's like it's
Yeah.
running out until we need to like.
I don't know. I don't even. I
be
think.
like
I
that.
think. I kind of feel like we've run over time. Do you know what we?
Oh
we
yeah,
have,
yeah. I
we
mean, I
have-
feel that.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
well, that's it. Like, have I run over? Have I got more time? I don't know.
exactly.
The answer to both is yes. That's the problem. So like, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
is
true.
it more courageous to There's lots of things that it's not more. A story of it working out. The courageous thing is like having stayed with it.
Exactly.
But then if it doesn't work out, the courageous thing would have been to have dropped out
to
early.
drop that, you're absolutely
mean?
right. I know
So
it's
it's
totally
just, you
dependent on the
can't win.
outcome.
Yeah.
So,
So what I want from it now,
yeah, what do you want from it now? Do you know?
yeah, I guess on a more sort of general basis, like not emotionally and stuff. Like what I'd like is just to have a music project that was self-sufficient,
Okay.
that could pay for itself.
So we're still looking at sort of like some financial goals, as in like streams and like
Yeah.
things that are coming in.
Oh, I just mean, I haven't thought like the ins and outs of it.
No, but I
do you-
mean, you've
do you know
still
what I
got
mean?
goals to kind of like, this is
I
still
see.
not just a hobby. Like,
Right.
it's
Oh,
still,
yeah. That's where I'm at now. But like,
Yeah.
I've got to say, I've been there for a while.
Yeah.
I've been there probably, to be honest, now longer than I've been like pie in the sky.
Oh, really? I
You
think
too,
for me,
yeah.
since COVID,
Right.
like, I don't know. I guess my aspirations like went back up again after COVID quite sharply, but then things didn't work out, and they kind of went, but right back down to like, yeah, like
Yeah,
okay, this just has to just be put out there, and that's it.
yeah. I now do music for fun exclusively.
And it's not fun.
That's the fucking problem.
No, it is fun.
Yeah.
It's fun for like, it's like, we were talking about it in one of the other episodes, like that moment where you're just writing a song and then whatever. Like, it can be frustrating, but it's just also really fun. Same with recording the song. You're having a great time at the moment doing an entirely new way of recording.
Yeah.
And, that's something, I guess.
Yeah.
And even then, sometimes I'm still like, what am I doing? Like,
Yeah.
oh, but like other people
I
would
spend
look at it and
so
just be
much
like,
time like,
fuck
what
are you
am I doing?
What are you doing?
But then like that again, like I know we're just repeating now, but it's like what you do, because you normally with things like you do that you start taking up, you can say, what am I doing? And then it's like there's an obvious answer. There's like a really easy answer. Stop doing whatever that is.
Yeah, right.
Whereas
yeah.
for this,
Oh God, what am I
for
doing?
this kind of thing, and like I guess like it's not, it's not, it's very broad, I suppose, but like I guess you kind of feel it more maybe within the arts because it's like something you do as a passion that becomes then like could be a career, and then it doesn't become a career, like like what's the answer to like what am I doing? And that is a question I ask myself all the time.
It's hard. It's really hard, isn't it?
What am I doing still?
What the absolute bejesus am I doing?
Yeah.
I've never said bejesus.
Yeah. But like, what's the other option? I mean, luckily, I love my work. I'm like super duper duper lucky and I love my job. So I got that, but I'm not necessarily a person that could, like I've said it last episode, I need lots of things to distract me, I think, from myself, my I spend as little time in my own mind, like, of all my kind of anxieties.
It's super healthy.
So exactly. It's I think it's medically advised.
Medically advised.
Lock everything away and just
distract yourself as much as possible. Put as many notifications on your phone as you possibly can.
Hide any.
It's the only way to get through this shit.
Deep lying issues that you've had for your entire life that you've never figured out.
Yeah.
Just
don't address them. Don't explore them.
Yeah. Just keep doing a band.
Or you can explore them through the music, man.
I can explore them through the music.
And that's what you do.
We do actually. We do explore.
Therapy.
Our entire back catalogue is basically based around getting older, and nobody's ever really like. Maybe my lyrics are shit.
Absolutely, they are.
Maybe they just are. Yeah. There's no reason why they wouldn't be. Yeah, but like the whole. Sometimes I'm like, I'll put something like, that's like I like that. I never ever get like. We get quite a lot of like nice comments about our music.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone has ever gone, I really like the lyrics.
I think we're making them too cryptic.
Do you think?
Oh, yeah.
I need to be like, I'm in pain, baby.
Exactly. I need to talk about my physical pain that I'm in right now.
That's true, yeah. Jack's in physical pain.
I'm in physical pain. I want to sing about it.
Yeah.
That's a good
But you're not going to bring it up this episode, your physical pain?
Oh, no.
No, another time.
Anyway, so
I reckon let's draw that topic to an end.
Do you know what?
You can go on forever.
I think
we haven't answered the question of where you at.
What do you want from it
now?
You kind of answered. I mean, you kind of answered. You want to get a self-sufficient band. That's cool.
Yeah, that's on like this sort of maybe like public side, but the inner side is like
it's still a bit of like
I've wasted an entire lifetime.
Oh God, yeah.
To something, and I know it's not working.
What I want hasn't actually changed.
The world knows it's not working, but that's I can't stop it.
What you want, like, you can try and change your expectations and what you want, and like you can really work on it, but like there's like secretly what you fucking want is the same thing as you wanted when you were 18. Yeah. That's the problem. It doesn't change.
Exactly. Yeah. It's yes to both, isn't it?
It doesn't matter if you entertain. You know 100% that it'll never happen.
Yeah.
And you go, I would definitely be happy.
Yeah.
With like breaking even with this band and like then being able to make music and people enjoy it, but like it's nothing special. Yeah. But realistically, if you wouldn't say no to more than that, do you know what I mean? You'd be like,
well, I always used to like use like I think it was like I used to use like the National and the War on Drugs as examples.
Yeah, because I
was like, they kind of got into the game. They got into the game. Maybe they didn't get into the game late, but they made it quite late in their careers. And
both
the other day, by the way, I googled how old they were when these albums younger than us.
Christ.
So do you know what I mean? The ones that I'm still citing as like, oh look, see they've made it younger than us. So like, time's ticking, bud.
Oh no, the time has ticked.
The time has ticked and tocked.
Tick and tocked a lot. Yeah,
that clock has stopped. But a wrong clock is right twice a day. And therein lies the problem.
That's the end of that section.
That'll do, yeah.
That was a beautiful end to that section.
So anyway, in the last bad edit break, bad timing, we received a text from Dale the Barrel, and he's not going to make it.
It's not like him, you know.
It's not like him to not show up to something that he's been invited to and said he'll come to, but that's what's happened. And it's disappointing, but it is what it is. You know, he's a busy man. We were lucky to get him in the first place.
Yeah.
You know, maybe I should have been more skeptical when he said yes.
We'll just keep your expectations
Keep coughing,
low.
mate.
Jesus. Just keep coughing.
So no doubt about. So
You're
I mean,
ruining everything.
we'll try again for next week, and fingers crossed. So I'll head back to. Cause I think we're going to call it quits quite quick, aren't we?
Yeah.
So I'll head back to the to-do list.
Oh, the agenda.
That had Jack's advice.
We're not
skip
going to
that.
get onto the advice. We'll get onto it next week.
Next
I got
week,
a good
yeah,
one.
Yeah, it's getting late.
Well, we've got some good advice.
It
we
says
don't-
here,
haven't followed.
fake text from down the barrel.
Oh,
We've done
Yeah.
that.
yeah.
And a hope check-in. Just a last-minute hope check-in.
Oh, after that conversation.
I know. Do you know what? I think
pretty
I had
low.
more hope an hour ago
Definitely.
than I have now.
Yeah. It's when you address. That's the problem with addressing things.
Exactly. You actually feel worse.
Absolutely. And you shouldn't feel.
No, shouldn't feel in the first place.
You just
and
should
feeling
not
worse
feel.
than feeling nothing.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Absolutely. I definitely. And in the long term as well. Definitely.
Yeah. Oh man.
So my hope's pretty low. I don't know if I could 10.
10 hope.
10%. 1/10.
One little chunk of a,
Of a hope I
of a
was
Zelda
born with.
bar.
Yeah.
A bar of 4.
I'm flashing red.
Yeah. After that conversation, I am a little bit. I think maybe what we should do going forward is maybe have a bit more of a positive spin at the end.
Right. That's a good idea.
Because actually,
That just put my hope up to 12.
if any, nobody watches it, but if any kids were to watch it,
Oh.
you're supposed to have I guess you've got to have like,
I don't think kids are going to watch this.
no, maybe not. You're right. Okay, if any aspiring young musical artist
Oh, yeah. Don't
somehow
do it.
stumbles across this,
Yeah.
do it.
Don't do it.
No, do it.
That's our next thing. Next week, we're going to discuss whether our advice would be
Do it or don't do it.
do it or don't do
Okay,
it.
that's actually really good, yeah.
Yeah.
But for now,
Yeah.
because we've been so negative, let's say,
Just do it.
just do it.
Just
like,
tick.
just do it. Chase your dreams. Don't get stuck in the old rat race.
Yeah.
I mean,
Or maybe
it hasn't worked for
do.
us, but, it does work for some.
I wouldn't give that advice.
No,
Dangerous advice.
No, I still would. What, doing it? I'd still give that. That's the problem. I'd still give that advice, though it didn't work for me.
Oh, really? We'll just cover next week's episode.
Done. Yeah.
No, this needs serious debating.
Yeah, we will go into this next
Yeah.
week. Yeah.
Oh,
I
wow.
would give this advice.
Wow. Interesting.
I know when we discuss it,
Interesting.
because you have a son,
I do. Yeah. I
Yeah.
have a son.
and so we always talk about would you get them into music?
Yeah.
Like,
Or, jokingly, he'll pick
if your
up like
son
yeah.
walked towards a guitar, would you
Yeah.
grab the guitar and throw it out the window?
just smash the guitar immediately and just be like,
Yeah.
this is
This is
everything.
bad.
Yeah.
Guitar
he'd pick
bad.
up a little shaker that was given to him as a gift, and I'll just immediately ban it.
Yeah.
And I'll put it up on like a
You heat
on
it
the
up on
wall.
the stove so that when he touches
Melt
it's
it.
burning hot. But yeah, so we discussed like that thought quite a lot. But I usually say like that. I joke that we would, but actually, I think my advice would be go for it. Chase
unbelievable.
your
We
dreams.
definitely need to talk
I'm
more
thinking I'm
about
a
that.
liar to you, but anyway, yeah, we'll discuss that next week. So next week, actually, we sort of come up with our questions, haven't we?
Yeah, what are we doing next week? We're doing
There's another one before.
would we give the advice?
Advice.
And then we're talking about
To our
financial
children. I haven't got one, but you have.
No, but yeah, but you like to any peer or whatever, anyone
Yeah.
listening. in.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
advice would you give? No, not even what advice.
Yeah,
would
you were given a slot at
think
a
everyone-
musical kind of expo, and to give to give advice. I don't know. Scenario will never happen.
Yes. Yeah. We're getting
What's
next
your
week's
angle?
musical
Yeah.
expo and finances.
Yeah,
We're discussing
finances. That was the other one, yeah.
Finances. We're discussing next week. Next week's going to be so
So
informative.
boring. Finances.
Finances.
Next week we're going to be talking finances and advice. That is not why we started this.
I love that.
This waste of time. Well, maybe we're stumbling on stuff that we
I
didn't
love
know we
also
would.
like like, we haven't talked about what we want out of this podcast, even.
No, let's do that.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. What are you looking up at?
I'm just not sure. I don't know how much time we've got left.
Where your phone will go. No, we won't talk about this podcast.
No.
But this podcast is actually surprisingly fun.
It is really fun.
It's actually an excuse for me and you to have a drink and waffle.
And waffle.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is.
Which
it
is nice because we don't get to do it as much these days.
No.
So
It's lovely.
really that's why this is happening. And the idea that it would go U2 and big is obviously at the forefront of my mind.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm hoping one day we'll be bigger than Joe Rogan.
We're going to be absolutely ginormous. Maybe we've got something to move on from, to cover up all of the deep-seated issues.
The best thing is it uses all
podcast
of
now.
If we get popular, we can't. If this podcast gets popular, we can't then say to anyone, you shouldn't pursue your dreams because all of that failure would have led to this podcast. Do you know what I mean?
That's true.
We're feeding this podcast with
is fed
failure and
with
regret,
misery,
yeah,
depression, ghouls,
and when it
and shit stories,
and when it really boring stories,
poorly told stories,
and not unscripted, poorly told stories.
Yeah.
So tune in next week for some interesting debates. Talks about finances.
Advice to
finances.
I know.
Get your finances together.
Get your finances together, man. How do you think you're going to make it anywhere in life without having your finances sorted out? And make your bed.
Oh, do you know what? Everyone always says that.
I know.
But if I make my bed like I don't know. I've tried that. I've tried just doing the thing where you go, you know what? Just make your bed in the morning.
Yeah.
It doesn't make me feel any better.
Yeah, you'll be a rocket scientist by the end of the week.
It's
fucking
like,
as if.
Do you know what?
Give me a break, man.
Just make your bed in the morning. And then I'm like, that was fucking pointless because I'm just going to get in and ruin it again.
Yeah, exactly. If you make your bed, it doesn't mean you've got fucking food in the cupboard. Do you know what I mean? It's such a stupid argument. Not an argument. It's so stupid.
It's not even an argument. It's a bit of like
I'm making it an argument.
Basic advice for people who are...
It's bad advice. Well, no, I'm sure it's all right.
It's probably
fine
really
advice.
Probably really good advice.
But it doesn't what does it connect to?
I think maybe it stops at a certain point. Like if you're the kind of person who can barely get out of bed because of depression or whatever, then being able to make your bed is probably quite good.
Yeah.
But
okay.
It only gets you to a certain point though. You gotta go beyond making the bed.
Time is going. I think
point.
we've hit the end of the podcast. Should we just say goodbye?
On another really, really, really high note.
All right, goodbye. Thank you very much for watching.
It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you all again. Comments and questions next week. Subscribe.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. We keep saying next week, but it's going to be 2 weeks.
It's 2 weeks because we just don't do them that regularly. See ya.